Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are pulling some money from old wallets and we are stuffing our December wallet and some new priorities that we have in the new month. Happy 1st of December. Can you guys believe we are already in December? Also, if you missed me the last few weeks, hi, hello, welcome back. I am fine. Thank you so much for those of you that sent me messages and that have been commenting and asking where I'm at. If you noticed that I was missing the last few months, leave a comment below and let me know that you did notice. But I don't think I've ever left you guys hanging like that before. It was not intentional. We went and visited the new place where we are thinking about moving. I have a lot to talk about, but before we just start jumping into life and updates and all of the things, let's talk about what we are doing here today with our budget, because like I said, it's been a hot minute since any of us have looked at my budget or my binders. As we transition into December and out of November, I do need to unstuff this November wallet because I need to pay my rent, my bills, all of the things that we've been saving this money for, right? I also went on vacation, so I need to pull this money. Now, typically, if I would have been on YouTube the last few weeks and if I would have stayed on top of my budget, I would have stuffed more money into November to have us fully ready for rent, and I would have pulled this vacation money and put it in the bank. If you guys don't know, I am a big cash budgeter, but I don't like bringing cash on trips. I like to save it in cash, but then right before the trip, I like to put it in the bank and I have it ready to go. Well, y'all, right before my trip, I was trying to finish orders. I actually didn't finish all of them. So if yours is one of the handful that went out after my trip, went out a little bit late, I'm so sorry for that. But thank you for everybody who was very patient and understanding. The trip got a little funky as far as the timeline goes. We went a little bit earlier than expected and we stayed a little bit longer than expected. All good things. Again, we will really dive into that later. But point is, I got so busy, I did not end up going through my trip budget. I do have $800 on a credit card that I spent on that trip. So we need to pull this trip money and pay that credit card back. I do like to keep a really detailed log of spending on the trip. I did that. We're going to talk about that another time when we talk about tips for road tripping, saving money, and how I budget for them. For the purposes of today, we are just going to unstuff this money. Hopefully we have at least $800. I'm pretty sure we do. And that $800 is going to go to the credit card. Then we are going to pull November, and we are probably not going to have enough for all of the things. And when it comes to the November wallet, we did not save in November the way that we really should have. I was not around for cash budgeting. Life just got a little bit, life got a little bit hectic. I know you guys know how it is. So for November, we're going to pull this money too to pay all of the things we need to pay. But I think some of our trip money and some of our money needs to like shift around to make sure we can cover everything. This is going to be a longer than usual video. So after we handle this, we will then stuff any money we have into our new December wallet. And I will talk about how I'm going to handle the 50 envelope savings. We've already talked about 52 week, but we will be stuffing a little bit into that. And we will be re-stuffing and revisiting our self-care wallet during the month of December. That was a long intro. Are you still with me? We are going to be setting these 4 binders aside just for now. But like I said, we will come back to that. How are you guys doing? How have you been the last few weeks? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys have been up to and how you are doing while we unstuff these two wallets. I'm trying to figure out how I want to set these in the frame. Okay, so we're going to start with our trip because I'm pretty confident I have more money in trip than I do in our monthly savings. And to start, we're just going to pull the money and we're going to count the money and hope that it covers all the things that we need it to. I have been doing well though, guys. I know, like I said, I kind of disappeared. I have had a very hard time. I don't think it's been a secret, but I've had a very hard time balancing regular life, like life with the boys, homeschooling. We snuck a trip in there. I've had a hard time balancing all of the things. At those, oh, I had notes on the back of the card. I've had a hard time balancing all of the things and YouTube and Etsy. I think moving forward, and I've said this for a while, but it never happens, but I'm for sure this time, like, Etsy is going to take a little bit of a backseat for me. I'm going to follow through with some commitments that I've made as far as like these monthly binders and stuff. But I think as far as new products go, It's gonna take a little bit of a back seat for me. We're gonna have full videos talking about this in the future, but just if you're here for the cash stuffing, you're gonna get the news first. I'm taking a little bit of a back seat with Etsy as far as like I'm not putting as much emphasis on that. And in the new year, I will be focusing on YouTube and growing our little community here. I used to have a lot of freebies and the website, like I just couldn't keep up with the freebies and the website, and I actually don't even have a website at the moment. I mean, I still have like the domain names, but I don't have one up and running like I used to. So I would like to get a website with freebies again and just focus my energy back here with you guys. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss the freebies. I think how I'm going to handle them is going to be some of the stuff that I sell in Etsy is actually going to be free for the first week if you're watching it and noticing it on my YouTube videos. So go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss when that does start happening. It's going to be pretty soon, but I'm making a big transition with my energy and with my time and focusing back on YouTube and a little bit less on Etsy. I don't know. I miss YouTube, and I definitely know at this point in my life and in this stage, I don't have time to fully have like a full functioning Etsy shop the way I always have like for the last year and a half, and to focus on YouTube the way that I did for say the first 6 months of YouTube. I just don't have that ability anymore. When I first started Etsy and YouTube, should we go ahead and pull? We're gonna go ahead and pull what we need to in this binder as well, and then we'll count it all together. Some of the stuff in this binder is going to stay because it needs to transition over to December. But continuing story time, when I first started Etsy and YouTube, my boys were in a private preschool and public school. Well, pretty soon after starting Etsy and YouTube, my oldest needed to be pulled from public school. It just was not a good fit for anybody. It was a great decision. I'm happy we did it. But then a year later, or half of a year later, I had both of the boys homeschooling. And so I feel like I'm just juggling so many things that their school is getting less of my attention than I would want it to. YouTube gets less of my attention, and Etsy ends up Etsy's a full-time job the way that I've been running it, and I want Etsy to just shift. I want Etsy to be my part-time job, YouTube and homeschooling my full-time jobs, and as we build this community, I fully believe that we will be able to launch Etsy as a full-time thing again, but once I can afford help, like once I can bring in somebody to help me with Etsy. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think in the comments. This is something that I've really been thinking about. I've said stuff like this in the past. Oh, I just pulled from Groceries. I probably shouldn't have. We're gonna ignore that. We will leave our 1 month ahead money in here because I would like to transition that over to our December wallet because we don't really need this at this moment. And then our monthly savings challenge, we will go ahead and pull. And yeah, November, y'all, I was so stressed out with all of the things. Not stressed, I was not stressed out, but I just knew I had so much going on. I didn't even stuff these little cards because I knew I wasn't going to be able to give my cash stuffings the attention I wanted to. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this in and then count this money, see what we need to put towards credit card. My oldest came in, so I have no idea what I was saying, but I think I was just generally saying that there's going to be a shift and I will be a lot more on YouTube. I do know that I've said that in the past. I just was unwilling to give up some aspects of Etsy because I love creating as well. And I just realistically know at this point that I have to give up creating as much for a time just to focus on YouTube and get to a point where I can hire some help with Etsy. So that was a long little story time. We can now put November wallet aside and our vacation wallet aside. We're moving into our December wallet, and for vacation we're going to be using our self-care wallet or focusing on that instead for this month for December, because we don't have a trip like pending or coming up right away. So we could put both of these aside. Before we move into either of these wallets though, I need to count this cash and put it aside for rent, bills, and the car note. Those are the staple things that have to get covered. And I think we're gonna be cutting it close. So let's see. Let's count the cash and see what we have and kind of set it aside. Okay, not to make things more confusing, this is the money that we just pulled. I'm going to be writing on here because this is money I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna use this little DIY envelope to bring money to the bank. There is money in here that I intended on using for groceries for last month. We did not use it. We will talk about it in just a second, but I did want to pull that out because I'm going to write on here, just because I want to use this envelope to bring things to the bank. So we need $400 for rent. We need $410 for our car note, and then we need $200 for bills. If you guys have not been around, or if you're new to my channel, my rent and my bills are very cheap right now. I went into a tiny monthly, like month by month little rental. It's a little studio apartment. It is working for us, but my goodness, y'all, we need some more space, but it's working for now. It's a great interim spot to land, if you will. So rent, we need $400. Do we want to count this as a whole or just kind of count it out? 50, 100, 52, 50, 300, 54. So we have our rent money covered, thank goodness. So I'm gonna pay that today. It is December 1st when I'm filming, probably December 1st when I put this up. Car note, we need 410. Let's focus on that next. 50, 100, 52, 50, 300, 50, 400, 410 for our car note. And then we just need 200 more. Not me second guessing myself. Okay, 51, 52, 53, 54, 51, 52, 53, 50, 410. Okay. Oh, we also need, I was like, we have too much money here. It's because this is also our vacation. Did you guys catch that before I did? So we do have $800 on the credit card from our vacation. So let's check that next. I do have $200 in bills for this month, for December. I like to be a month ahead, if you will. So all of this money that we saved in November is actually for December. Bills don't have to get paid right now. So let's go ahead and pay the credit card first. If we have anything left, we will make sure to pay these $200 in bills that are coming out in December. Credit card, 50, 100, 52, 53, 50, 400, 50, 500, 50, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800. So we do have enough to also pay the credit card. Let's see if we have 200 left for bills. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200. Perfect. Okay, this worked out perfectly. So all of this money is going to go towards the bank. All this money is going into the bank. I do love to save in cash. This is something I'm really just realizing lately as I'm really highly evaluating everything in my life. Let me know if you guys are the same. I'm finding that I do better saving in cash, but when it comes to actually spending, I like to put it on the card and spend it and track it through my bank account. So saving in cash, but bank account. Does that make sense to you guys? I know that I get the argument that I could put it in a savings account to like get interest or something. For me personally, I just don't have enough money that really makes a difference for me. I don't, what am I missing, guys? I'm missing something, because savings accounts, like the interest isn't worth it being in a savings account to me. It makes no sense. But also, whenever it's in a bank account and it's easy for me to access, whether that be savings or whatever, I tend to just spend the money because I feel like it's there. But if it's in cash, if it's in these binders and it's tucked away until a cash stuffing, then I'm not tempted to spend it, right? Because it's like set aside. I want to build onto the money, not take away from the money. So saving in cash works for me, but then I'm going to be putting this in the bank account to actually pay the bills and do all of the things. So let's go ahead and put this here. I will put this in my purse and bring it to the bank today and pay off all of these things. So December is basically covered as far as like the bills and things go, right? So let's set this aside. There was a little bit of extra money. Let's see, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. We have $46 in like leftover that I guess we can just set over here and cash up it somewhere else, because we are going to be talking about December and self-care, and this is saving for Christmas. So every week we're going to put something in here. I had previously used this for a couple different things. I'm going to use this long term though. So if you guys have the 50 envelope savings challenge or the 100 envelope savings challenge, let me know what you're using it for. But I am going to be using this for saving for birthday needs, and this is gonna be for Christmas for next year. So by the time we get to next year, next Christmas, we will have $1,378. 50 envelope savings challenge, it's a little less. What is it, like 1,200 something? Spend ideally about that on Christmas for my kids and for family and for food and for wrapping paper, like all the Christmas needs. I can do that under that for sure. Let me know if you guys want to see like what I got my kids for Christmas this year, but I spent a little under or like right at $500 for their actual Christmas presents. But when you like put all of it together, all the needs together for Christmas time, like that's about what I need, $1,378. And then for their birthdays, by the time I pay for parties and presents for my boys, I don't need the full $1,200 usually. Sometimes I do though. So this will give us until we will need this at the end of August, start of September for my boys. So this is going to start being treated like I treat this 52-week savings, where I put 1 or 2 slots in per week, and it's sitting there and ready for me when I need it. So actually, while we're talking about it, and before we move into December and self-care, let's go ahead and just put some of this little bit of leftover money in here. So this is saving for my boy's birthday. We'll just do the 1 and the 2. I think I'm going to alternate though in the future, like once I actually have a planned cash stuffing, I will put, you know, like a low number in one of the binders and a higher number in the other binder, so it all kind of equals out in the long run. But this isn't like a true cash stuffing where I had money allocated for things. This is just me trying to get my binders and my life right. 4, so let's skip the 4 and put a 5 in the 5. And then for the purposes of this video or this hangout, we are done with these 2 binders, but we will keep revisiting these binders every single cash stuffing. Okay, we also have the 1 month ahead and our grocery money to deal with, so let's not forget about that. Self-care, I kind of put the self-care binder away for a minute and I did not actually use it. I am going to put a little bit more of an emphasis on this as the moving plans get closer. If you guys have a guess as to where I'm moving, leave it in the comments. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. I think this is going to be a longer video, and like I said, I've been MIA for a minute, so I don't know how many of you guys are actually going to like see this and come hang out with me, but let's go ahead and just put a little bit of money into our self-care. I do have some tip money from you guys that I've been stashing away, so if you've been tipping over on Etsy, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been writing you guys' name down, pulling the money and setting it aside. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I've been like all over the place. Like I said, trying to prioritize everything. I mean, if you think about it, homeschooling is a full-time job. Stay-at-home mom, full-time job. I am a single mom, right? So all of those jobs fall on me. Etsy really is a full-time job. And then if I had been around on YouTube, which I haven't been, but if I'm on YouTube the way that I want to be, full-time job. So it's just, you know, something's got to kind of give. And Etsy is not, I'm not giving up on Etsy. Nobody like panic if you love my stuff, because I do love sharing things. I love creating on Etsy. Coffee, we're going to add 5 of these dollars, but it needs to become less of a priority for me and more of like I think I'm going to dedicate like 12 hours a week to it, and that's all it gets, right? Like if I can't get it done in those 12 hours, then I just have to cut back. Retail therapy, let's put 5, 10, 15, 20, 3. We're going to put 23 towards retail therapy. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, $153 towards shopping. I do think I'm going to reprioritize and reshuffle some of these like self-care categories, because I would like to add, like I have these nail Dashing Diva. I had to look at it and I don't know why, because it's the only brand of stickers that I really use for the most part. Is my camera focusing? So it's these Dashing Diva nail stickers. I love to get those. I also desperately need a haircut, and I need to just start taking care of myself a little bit more. And I want to make my categories reflect all of the things that I know I really want to do, but I don't make a priority. As we're focusing on self-care, the self-care wallet in December, I want to make sure I'm like putting my money aside while I have the chance, right? So this wallet is done. The only thing we have left to do is our December wallet. So there's not going to be a lot to do here because, like I said, this isn't a regular cash stuffing. I did have some grocery money set aside that we did not use in November, even though I set it aside for November. We have 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 300, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 400, yeah, four. We have $400 for groceries. So 400 towards groceries. We are actually gonna just put that right back into groceries. And I think instead of kind of setting it aside and not touching it, that's what we did last time, we are going to just track it in here. Every week I need to pull about 200 out. What are you guys spending on groceries? I'm spending about 200 per week at this point. I would love to get that down, but can I realistically? I don't know. So we're gonna add, oh, I wrote 200. We're gonna add 400 right now, and then as I need to pull it, I'll just use this tracker to pull it and to add, and hopefully at the end of the month we have even more than we started with. The idea is to get a full month ahead on groceries. So at the start of January, for example, we have about $1,000 in here. It's going to take us time to like build up to that, obviously, but I think we will start pulling from it weekly, but still trying to add back even more. And we are going to, we're not going to put in rent or bills today or subscriptions. We are just going to put this 1 month ahead money back in. We're really just trading trackers. We were using this November themed tracker, and now we are using our Christmas themed tracker. I am a huge fan of keeping cash stuffing fun and doing whatever you need to keep it fun, and I think this new monthly wallet is definitely doing it for me. I'm very excited to have it fully stuffed at some point. I know it's going to take time to build up to that, but that's also kind of fun just to see it grow over time. I do have 1 month ahead in 1,000, 2,000, and 4,000. That's how it comes whenever you purchase the binder for me, but we are just using the 1,000, and then if and when we can get, my kids keep coming in and out, so I'm not sure again what I was saying, but I think I was just saying that I'm using the 1,000 tracker. If we don't end up needing to pull this, like if no emergency arises or anything and we don't need it, then we will keep saving the money and move into the $2,000 tracker. We should have 350 here. Let's see, 50, 100, 52, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 350. I did just color in the like higher amounts so that we can slowly stuff some of the smaller amounts if we need to, if we have a week that kind of goes that way. But I think that is it, guys. That is it for this. I keep wanting to call it a cash stuffing, but it was really just a like getting things in order video. We should have another cash stuffing soon. I'm not sure how big it's going to be because I was recently on vacation, but we will have another cash stuffing very soon, and I have a bunch of other content ideas that are coming out your way. So I'm excited about that. I hope you are as well. As we move into December and as we move into the weekend, I hope that you guys are happy, safe. I hope that you guys are having a good time with family. And as always, I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.